Hello, I'm Martin.Fencka and welcome to the first part of Let's Play Rimworld. Rimworld is an independent project by Ludeon Studios that's currently in its alpha version. Currently it's alpha 12 and I own the game since like alpha 8, which I'd say is well over a year already now. And already in alpha 8 it felt like almost complete product. The game had a lot of content, almost no bugs, and since then the game has been constantly patched, developed, a lot more content has been added, so it's even better now. And I'd say this is a project that's definitely worth following and worth some attention because it's really promising. Rimworld is a colony simulator slash survival game. The story is quite simple. Your spaceship gets destroyed, and the last three members of your crew manage to save themselves in escape pods on some random planet somewhere in the middle of the universe. And your goal is, quite simple: survive. Just build a colony, grow, research, produce, and eventually you can even build a spaceship and get out of the planet. All of this may sound pretty simple, but I have to say it's definitely not. I've tried the game multiple times with different settings, different starting locations, and most of my colonies got totally destroyed, like to multiple reasons, or for multiple reasons, like pirate raids, alien robots, diseases, natural disasters, starvation, and many other things. So there definitely is some pretty big challenge in the game, and I really have to recommend it. It's a lot of fun playing it, and hopefully you will like the game as well. Maybe try it and support those guys behind the game because they definitely deserve it. They are doing a really good job. In the first part of the Let's Play, we will just go through the game settings, and I'll just talk about some basic things that I probably should introduce before we start playing. If you already know the game, there probably won't be much for you to see in this part, and maybe be more interesting to jump to the second part where we will get to the planet and start building the colony. But I think that there will be some people watching this Let's Play who don't know the game yet, and there are definitely some things that I should explain. So let's start with all of that. First, we have to create a world, basically a new planet. I will set the size to maximum. It's just because I want to make sure that we have all biomes available. Uh, and anything else, just randomize the seed and generate. Let's see what we get. We have, I'd say, everything. There is some jungle. Yep, so we have everything from ice sheet to tropical rainforest, desert, temperate forest, boreal forest, tundra, and here we have some arid shrubland. These should be all the biomes that are in the game. I'm not gonna be playing anything too crazy in this Let's Play. It's the first Let's Play, and I want to start in the biome that's not too harsh. I don't want to be fighting like the nature all the time at the same time that you'll have to fight those random events that make your life pretty difficult. So we'll probably start, I'd say, in boreal forest. I kind of like that biome, but yeah, we will get to that in a minute. For now, we can save this world and get to the colony. Before we'll have to think about where our colony is gonna be. We have to choose a difficulty, and there are like two things about difficulty. First are these three icons: Cassandra Classic, Phoebe Chillax, and Randy Random. This affects how often and how hard random events you'll be getting. On Cassandra, basically, the longer you are on the planet, the more challenging random events you are getting. So as your colony grows stronger, you are getting more challenging random events. The normal order of things, let's say it like that. On Phoebe, it's more like a builder difficulty or style where you are not getting that many events. You can focus on building the colony a lot more, unless you set the difficulty really high, where, well, can be pretty deadly as well. And the last one, this is a complete insanity. You are just getting everything completely random, and the game doesn't care if you are already prepared for it or not. It can be fun to play on this setting. I tried it a few times, but definitely not for a first let's play, because it really is possible that you are just gonna die on like during the first 2 months, and that won't be too much fun, at least for now. Maybe if I'll do more let's plays of Rimworld, I will at some point do this just for fun as well. But for now, we'll stick to the classic, and now the second setting is the actual difficulty of those events that you'll be getting, and I would say that I'll go with the challenge. I've tried extreme a few times, but I'd say it's that hard. More like it's quite annoying, because there is something like a mood of your colonists, and on extreme they're always complaining about something, and often it seems like for no reason. And I just sometimes it makes me really mad, so I rather go with the challenge. um, and also on challenge, well, we can handle some less ideal starting locations maybe than on extreme, where it's really better to find a good spot for the colony. So let's go with these settings, and yep, we'll be playing on this world that we just created. Okay, and now we have to figure out where is our colony gonna be. I said that I want to go with tundra. I mean tundra, boreal forest, which is this darker blue. But I also want to be in mountains, because in mountains it's much easier to start your colony. You can hide basically everything into the mountain, and it's much easier to defend. When you are in open terrain, it can be really big pain in the ass, especially against some sieges and stuff like that. Which options do we have? I also want to have at least some growing period. Even a short time would help, so we can grow at least some crops. June, Jule, never. I'll probably go with something like this. The temperature, -10, +10. It's really quite cold. This is better maybe. May to August is growing period. The temperature is not much better, but those extra months of in the growing period, that can help a lot. The terrain is mountainous. I think this looks like a good starting location. I'll take it. And now we have to, or we can, choose the people that we'll be playing with. On lower difficulties, I usually just take whatever I get randomly generated. I don't care about it so much, but for this, well, I'd like this let's play to last, a while. Don't want to lose my colony after like 3 or 4 parts. So let's take some people that are actually capable of doing something, not just complain all the time. Before I start randomizing them, let's go through their stats. This is the main reason why I'm going through the first part and all this explaining, because if you don't know the game, it's quite important to at least understand basics of these stats, what they affect. But let's start with the first thing, and we'll get those stats eventually. So first, what you have is a name. It can be changed, but I'm not really that good with names, so I will just leave whatever we get. Then you have a gender and age. They are two different things: chronological and biological age. The lower number is biological age. That's the time that the colonist has been actually really active, and the other number is together with the time the person has been in cryosleep. Because in this game there is no like FTL drive, so people traveling through the space have to be in cryosleep, so that significantly increases their like existence period. Sometimes the second number can be crazy high. I had some people with like over 3,000 years, so they like spent really 3,000 years in cryosleep. It's kind of weird, but this number is not really important. It's more about this number because there are like age related diseases in this, and with higher age there is, for example, a risk that the colonists will get heart attack and stuff like that. So most of the time it's better to take younger people, but well, sometimes older people have much better stats. Like here, this guy has research of 15, which is really high. Maximum is 20. And yeah, often this high stats you can find only on like older people. So sometimes it's not easy, but it's also important what's here, the remaining things, remaining like traits, let's say. And let's go quickly through that. Every colonist has its backstory. There are like two major traits that affect him, one from childhood, one from adulthood. There are really a lot of different things that the colonist can have. For example, here we have awkward nerd. It always it improves some of these skills and lowers other ones, and it can also disable some skills. So here we have bonus to crafting and research, penalty to melee and social, and it disables firefighting. The firefighting is not the end of the world. So this wouldn't be such a big problem. The boost to crafting and research is really significant. So overall, this trait is actually quite good. Though the other one is significantly worse. A researcher, the penalty to melee and mining is not the end of the world. Some bonus to social, I really don't care about that much on this guy. Um, Another bonus to research, that's good, but the problem is things that are disabled: cleaning, hauling, and plant cutting. Especially when you have hauling disabled, which means the colonists can't carry things around from one place to another. Early there is a lot of stuff you have to carry over from different places. So since you have only 3 colonists early, this slows things down quite significantly sometimes. And usually I'm trying to avoid hauling disabled, or these two words. I'm trying to avoid them if I can. This is what we went through is basically here again: incapable of, dump labor, and scary. Scary means the same as firefighting disabled, and dump labor means the same as cleaning, hauling, and plant cutting disabled. So it's just basically once again here. Then we have traits that are not related to like childhood or adulthood. These are random things and are not just affecting these skills. They can affect these skills, but it can be completely different stuff. Often this affects like the psychology of the colonists, and even some like more unusual things, like for example the heat lover. This affects like the comfortable temperature range this person like to be in. So it's a heat lover, which means this guy wouldn't do that well in the boreal forest area where we are starting our colony. So already I know I'm not gonna be taking this guy with dump labor disabled and heat lover. He will be complaining all the time. It wouldn't be that useful. So, well, this guy really is not good for us. Then we have neurotic. This increases global work speed, which is of course always good. Though the problem is um, it affects the mental break threshold. In this case, it makes the person more likely to break down, and you want to have your people psychically stable as much as possible, because when they break down, you can't predict what they're gonna do. Sometimes they just like go outside, throw their clothes away, and wander around naked, which is probably the best thing that can happen. But sometimes they can just go completely berserk, and if they have weapons equipped, they start shooting other colonists and stuff like that. So if you can keep your people sane, let's say it this way, it's always better. And all these penalties that you can get from trades, so it's better to avoid them. Then we have too smart. Again, it has one bonus. The global learning factor means that like these skills can be improved. They are not fixed on the number when they start, and the more often the colonist does a specific thing, the more, let's say, like, experience he gets towards the skill, and the skill improves over the time. And here the global learning factor means that they just improve really quite fast. Though again, there is the problem with mental break threshold, and together with the neurotic, this really means this guy would be just mad most of the time and would cause more trouble than we would get, or um, is simply not like where the problems will be causing. Let's say it this way. Before we reroll him, let's go through all the skills that colonists have. Some are pretty self-explanatory: shooting and melee. That's quite obvious what this affects. Shooting, it's not only like a combat stat, but also important for hunting. Then we have social. Social, the most important role of social is like convincing prisoners to join your colony. That's one of the main sources of people for your colony, especially early, that you capture someone, put them into prison, and then you can try to convince these prisoners to join you, and the higher social skill you have, the better chance or higher chance that you will be successful in your efforts. Then we have animals. This is a new skill added in the last version. You can tame animals, train animals, and this can be actually quite useful, especially because some animals can be trained to do hauling for you. So it's basically like a free worker. And yeah, if you can get the animal that can haul early, it can really speed things up. You can focus on some other things with your colonists, and basically let the hauling just for the animal. Sometimes it's weird when like a dog is hauling like big stone blocks, but well, it works that way and it's quite helpful. Maybe it's gonna be changed a bit. Yeah, it really sometimes feels kind of weird, but well, so far or for now it works this way. Other things, we have medicine, mm, quite self-explanatory, I would say. Uh, Increases the chance to successfully heal someone, but not only that, you can perform surgeries here, like transplantations, and give your colonies bionic implants. So chance that all of this will be successful is affected by the skill in medicine. Then you have cooking. Again, just one thing I should probably say about this: the lower skill is, the higher chance is that your people will actually get the food poisoning from food that wasn't prepared well. So if you can avoid giving the cooking job to someone who has a low skill, it sometimes can cause a lot of trouble. Then construction, there's probably not much to say. Anything you want to build is affected by construction. You can't actually fail in constructing, but it affects the speed of construction. Growing, um, here, what can happen? It just affects the speed at which you are planting things, and also with low skill there is actually a chance to fail at harvesting stuff. Sometimes it's kind of weird when your colonists, for example, fail at harvesting strawberries. Like that really has to be someone pretty stupid if he fails at harvesting strawberries. But well, that's how it works, and it can happen. Then we have mining. Mining, there is nothing that you can really fail with, just affects the speed at which you can mine. And maybe I should also explain what the zero means. When there is a zero behind the skill, it means that the person is capable of doing that specific task. It's really horrible at that. It's possible to have no number behind the skill, and that means that the person is completely incapable of doing the specific task. Then we have artistic. You can do produce some like art. For now it's just sculptures, I think, and this affects both, I think, the speed at which you can do these things and the quality. It can be a really good source of income if you have someone good at the art or with high artistic skill. So it may seem quite useless, but actually later it can be very important skill for your colony's economy. Then there is crafting. This affects skills like blacksmithing, tailoring, and probably some other things. The same as artistic, just affects the speed and quality of the final product. And in the end, or the last thing is research. Well, affects basically the speed at which new stuff is researched. Even a person with research zero can research. It just will take ages to get something, but yeah, if you give it enough time, even a person with research zero will eventually research something. But of course, it's good to have high research to get new stuff faster. The last thing here are these like flames. It's how passionate people are about the specific task. So this guy is passionate about a lot of things. It basically affects how fast he improves at the skill. There are two levels: just passionate, and then there is burning passion with those two flames. Um, it's not super important. Sometimes when you just have one person dedicated specifically to one task, usually I'm doing this with, for example, cooking, that the person with highest cooking skill, I let him cook basically all the time, and if he has the burning passion for it, on top of the high skill, he can level pretty fast, but most of the time it's just a small boost that's not really that significant. Is there anything else to explain? Maybe I should go over this. You can check stats of every person, and you can see there is a lot you can look at. And one important thing we'll be always checking, this is the health, and these things, left eye, right eye, cataract, and bad back, this is related to the age. So this is one of the reasons why it's usually better to take younger people, because most of the time they don't have any of these problems. And you can see that these things affect some skills here. Very poor side, so 30% efficiency already says that this guy really won't be that good. Slower moving, slower manipulation, it can significantly affect the performance of the person. Okay, so we know that we are not gonna be taking this guy, so let's re-roll. Here we don't have, he can do anything, or she, 18 years old, um, but she's a cannibal. Yeah, that's one thing, you can eat people in this game. You can do basically anything you want in the game. Then it's a pessimist, and bloodlust. Well, how exactly does the cannibal work? Start that eating him. Renata was taught that eating human meat is wrong and horrible, but one time long ago she tried it and she liked it. Well, it doesn't say much. It most likely means that if you are in a situation where the only source of food is dead people, she wouldn't have like a negative mood modifier from that, I would say. So we can probably keep it. She doesn't like want to eat people. Uh, there can be some skills that unless you do the specific thing, the person will be unhappy. But it doesn't seem that the cannibalism is that kind of thing. It just means if you do it, the person won't be unhappy about that. The pessimist permanent mood effect -6. That's not the end of the world. It's a bit annoying, but I can live with that. And bloodlust actually is not that bad. because sometimes people get unhappy when there is like blood after a battle or something, and with bloodlust they basically ignore it. Problem is, like, combat stats are horrible. Social animals not that bad. Medicine decent at cooking and growing. Um, can mine, can construct. I think we can take her. Let's quickly check the health, but she's young, so there shouldn't be any problems. Yeah, I think we can take Renata as the first colonist. Then we have Jen, scout, medieval farm of intellectual and artistic. That's fine. If we have someone who can't research and craft art, that's okay. More importantness was here. Chemical interest, well, it's not the end of the world. Global work speed. This is not ideal set of traits, but he is extremely good at growing. What else? He is decent at shooting. Mining is also quite good. He can craft. How does it look like with his health? He has old gunshot in the torso, but it only gives him a minor pain, and that's not the end of the world. This is like not important, not important at all. Um, I think we can actually take it. He could cause some minor problems because of his traits, but it's okay. And here is the good example of a huge difference in those two ages. 25, the normal age, and he spent like 2,000 years in cryosleep. Um, hmm. What do we need? We need someone. What? In someone with high social skill, maybe animal skill. I think we can keep him. His main like task will be hunting and growing and mining when he's gonna have time for that. Yeah, I think I can take him. And here, no, we need someone with high social skill now, because without that we won't be able to convince prisoners to join us, and that will be quite significant drawback. This guy has a burning passion for social, but he's incapable of dumb labor and cleaning. Very high medicine and cooking though, and also research. But I think I want to have someone with high social skill right from the start. Here, well, this can happen with the wrong combination of traits, that they can do only a few things, and most of the time it's just better to re-roll this. This guy is basically just good for combat, and we can't afford to have someone like that as one of the starting people. What's this? Oh, this looks better, but again, incapable of dumb labor, and I need all the starting people to be capable of hauling things. Medicine, cooking, research, social is horrible. This is better, and oh, he's heat tolerant. That can cause some minor problems. Only 15. Shooting, melee, social, animals. Construction and mining are 0, but he's capable of doing these things. It'll be pretty slow, but he can help with that. I think we can take him. It's not like ideal starting colonist, but with this super high social skill, he'll help a lot once we get some prisoners. So unless he has some major health problems, I'll take it. Okay, so we have our people and the starting location, and I'll stop the recording now, because once I hit start, the map will be generated, and during the generation process, for some reason, fraps and map generating just don't work together, so I can't record that, but I'll come back right after the map is generated. And I hope you'll join me for that. Hope you like this first introduction part, and yeah, I'll see you when we actually get to the planet. Until then, have a good time. Bye bye.